We start now our panel with the Ionian University. I expect it to be a fascinating panel. I've had so good inputs and reactions from not only from the professors who are with us, but also from a lot of people around the university. I think the university is in a phase of very positive expansion. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a very overall encouraging and positive input on concerning the impact that the university has on its environment, on the regional administration and the region of Ionian Islands and beyond, and globally. It's with great pleasure that I welcome Panagiotis Vlamos, Professor, Department of Informatics, and Ioannis Deligiannis, Associate Professor, Department of Audio and Visual Arts, and Konstantinos Vogklis, Assistant Professor, Department of Tourism. We start with Professor Vlamos. I learned a good term from you, Professor, which is the importance of the collaborative innovation. So I would like to hear your experience. I heard before coming to Corfu about a high-level cooperation, very well known with Johns Hopkins, but I understand you have other cooperations with other important centers in other places of the world, and we would love to hear more about that. And of course, if you can briefly refer to the SDGs, which is the main theme of our event, and anything you have to say related to the impact of the university on the development of the Ionian region. It's also of great interest.
So many thanks for the kind invitation. It's really a great event, and I was looking forward to participate. And also thanks for the questions that I have to answer all at once. Anyway, I present the work of a small lab, as it has begun and now it has growth inside the small university, which has the same expansion in the latest years. So our lab is called Bioinformatics and Human Electrophysiology Lab. It's established in the Department of Informatics of the Ionian University. It started in 2014, and up to now we have a great impact concerning the innovation that we produce, and it's based exactly in the term that you said, collaborative innovation. So nowadays you cannot really advance in research alone, and you cannot advance in research even in a small group. You can only advance when you have a network in which you are complementary and necessary in exactly what you're doing in your research area. So our main research is data-driven results in clinical situations, clinical data. This led us to have a uniqueness, we can say, in the world concerning the way that we collect, we exploit, we classify, and we use data in order to produce mainly decision support systems concerning health. This has started with, as a case study, with the most difficult situation, which is neurodegenerative diseases. Neurodegenerative diseases are very complex. We really know very little, even now, concerning their main mechanism, and they evolve in the human body very slowly. This gives us a very complicated work concerning the data, which are huge, and also it needs longitudinal studies. The way that we proceed with that gives us a new research area that we have worked, and now it's published as a Springer handbook, which is called computational regeneration. The collaboration especially with John Skopjes was a producer of the way that we communicated this work to the whole world through a world congress called Genetics. In 2018, only 4 years after the establishment of our lab, we had the bold idea to organize and consider the sizes a conference, worldwide conference in Toronto, Canada. And we had more than 50 keynote speakers, mainly from US, Canada, and also from other countries, even from Japan, Europe. But it was the first thing, first time that a local lab from Greece, and especially from a small university like Ionian University, was going to another continent to have only by its own powers to organize a World Congress. Anyway, this happened in 2018, and in August 2019, we had a call from John Skopjes, from Professor Deligiannis, that was proposing to us, and this was very weird for us at the time, to work together concerning this. Why that? Professor Deligiannis leads the Litvak Family Center of Excellence for Dementia, Skopjes, a huge organization with, I think, more than 700 researchers working there. And John Skopjes Medical School, sizes are extremely big. The work done there is extremely good. But yet, Greece was a challenge for him, not only because he's Greek, but also because Greece is the third country in the world concerning aged people. This will lead also to a very big percentage of people that will have dementia. It's a new pandemic situation that we will live, I think, in the next 20 years. So this led him to a conclusion that Greece is not ready for this. And we had to act. So we started a collaboration that was firstly communicated in December 2019, and since then we're working very hard for that. And it's a multi-level collaboration. We established what we call an initiation against Alzheimer's. This was the way that it was presented as one of the 3 showcases at the Faro Summit 2022. It was the one that was the more mature because it had behind it 4 years of work, a network of more than 30 professors, people, clinical doctors from all over Greece. Going along, it's not only John Skopjes, because the work that we are doing is attracting more and more institutes. I refer to 3-4 of them that are the latest one. We have a lot of collaboration, and we are very lucky to have people that can support it, researchers with excellent CVs, all Greek. It is exceptional also that there are a lot in Corfu, the Ionian Islands, that can work in a very high and intensive research activity such as collaboration. Namely, we have a new collaboration with McGovern Medical School of Texas that came also through Faro Summit, and we have signed an MOU, and now we're working towards genetic profiles in China. We have a collaboration with a Dutch company called Triway Biotechnology Company that is developing drugs, and we have a new field of research there. It's called drug repurposing. We just for AI, artificial intelligence, already existing drugs in order to schedule for the purpose for other diseases. We are working with Kedros Group from the NTNUA, Norwegian Technology National University, and also another huge collaboration also with Peter Greek, which very good abroad. Professor Vasilis Christos is with the Translatum Oncology Center, a huge research center in Munich, University of Munich. The latest news yesterday was also the press release in Καθημερινή and also abroad concerning we have produced 10 digital biobanks with artificial intelligence for 10 different diseases. It was released yesterday concerning not only neurodegeneration but also psychiatric diseases, COVID, and 4 cases of cancer. So we have the Ministry of Education, we have the Pedagogical Institute, and the head of the Pedagogical Institute was appointed an assistant professor from our lab. So this is crucial of how the people are developing inside the lab, how the research is developing, and how also the impact of this research is given to society, locally, regionally, in a national level, and in an international level.
I must say I found this discussion fascinating. I only feel like congratulating you. This is and the whole team. This is a very impressive path of success and growth, and is bringing, as you say, a small university to really to cutting edge processes. So it's a great satisfaction to see this happening in our small university, but small in size. It's a fascinating discussion. Time leads now the process because we have to be mindful of the time. But again, this is the approach that almost the whole country should have. We are a small country, but we should aim at points of excellence. That's the thing. And the same thing with the Ionian University. It's a nice example of this approach because it does not happen on its own. It happens because the people who are involved in it feel that way and pursue the excellence. Thank you again, Mr. Vlamos. I move now to Mr. Deligiannis, who I'm sure has also an interesting story to tell us about his department. Audio and visual is art.
Thank you for the invitation. I'd like to say that as an interaction designer, and I'm a computer scientist, so I tend to see things from that perspective. Particularly in terms of the university, I can see the catalytic role that the university plays within the region. And if you were to connect the SDGs to the university and our work, you can clearly see that we can use the SDGs as the main driver for improvement towards the right direction. And this is really the importance of the SDGs. It's a globally accepted standard for the quality of life. And on that respect, all our work has been governed by this kind of rule, that we try to improve every aspect. And you will be able to see that within our projects. And this is because we have our vision and we use the funding from the European community, for example, to create this kind of infrastructure that will furnish the standards, and we will create the standards for growth and for sustainability. So we have, for example, different roles. One of the roles of the university is to create research. We have the role to support our region and be able to be there in terms of evaluation and proposals. We have the opportunity to search our history and create case studies or see what happens with our culture. I'm a computer scientist working in department of artists, but art is not what we do only. We create new methods of expression, we use the media, and you know how much media are affecting our reality today. Because through media we can create new practices and we can pass the meaning to the world. So from that perspective, it is very interesting the way that we use whatever resources we have. Of course, as Professor Vlamos said before, we are in a university that is small but really active. We travel a lot. Most of our colleagues have studied abroad and they come back and they have collaborations. And we don't feel that we're in Greece, particularly because of the system of administration that we have to face. It's one of the problems that I think it's faced by all universities, but here we have this kind of problem a bit more. But at the end, we seem to overcome these problems. We collaborate with the region a lot. We have been, I have personally, and all the professors of the department have been receiving calls to propose what they want to create as infrastructure. We have developed various systems. For example, one of the systems that Professor Vogklis was going to talk about is a collaborative project we did for the Corfu, the city of Corfu, and it uses big data to be able to create a platform for growth. So it is the way that you take a visitor and you allow them to move around the city. You take into account the weather conditions, the traffic conditions, everything that happens around, and their age, and you create interactive paths of that are customized to the person, is something that has been designed according to the 17 UN goals and is trying to create a platform which is, and the openness of the data is important as well, so that we give the data out to others who want to collaborate with us, and they can strategically position their services and create their businesses around that. So it is a way that we're not competitive to other businesses, we are simply helping the evolution of the ecosystem.
Thank you, Mr. Deligiannis. Another interesting, constructive and productive story of the Department of the Ionian University. We move now to our last panelist, Professor Vlamos, digitalization of tourism. It's an important study and the way forward and the next steps.
Thank you very much. Thank you, first of all, for the invitation. I represent the Department of Tourism, which is the youngest and the smallest of the departments at Ionian University. And we don't have the track record that the Department of Informatics and the Department of Professor Deligiannis has through the years, but we are very competitive. We are eager to transform tourism, and one of the missions of our department is the digital transformation of the Greek tourism. And one interesting aspect as well is that that connects to your principles is that the quote of our department, the quote that we use as marketing, is study tourism in its source, which I believe is really important because we have a strong ties with the region, municipality and regional authorities, and we feel that all Corfu and all the Ionian Islands is a really workbench for our experimentation and for our studies, and we are planning to move on, of course, to be throughout Greece and maybe international, but we will begin with the region, small changes like you say, and we are planning to do big things. So the digital transformation that we are advocating is apparent and necessary in all industries, and we feel it in our lives as well. It is apparent and necessary in the tourism industry as well, and it is going to transform the conventional tourism that you used to have to the notion of smart tourism. And also it's going to reveal the huge value hidden in the huge data quantities that we gather every day. So what we call smart tourism, and this is the end of the road, let's say, 2030, let's say, is a collection of personalized products and and services, accompanied with smart decisions, connected subsystems, and of course of open opportunities. There was a great study from the Association of Greek Tourism Enterprises, which I'm going to talk now, which pinpoints the 6 emerging technologies that the future of the digital tourism is going to be based on. And if you allow me, I'm going to name them quickly and maybe give an example just for you to understand. And I'm going to finish now. Yes. So the building technologies that will eventually transform the tourism industry would be, of course, artificial intelligence. Okay, you understand that complex computational systems are using advanced analytics and trying to emulate the way we think. Already, hotel groups are using artificial intelligence incorporated in their revenue systems. So every time a room is open for renting, the revenue system calculates the most efficient value to be rented. So biometrics is also another high-end technology that is going to be used in the context of tourism. We have all seen the way that in airports they recognize our faces, or maybe our talk or everything. And blockchain is another technology that enables data exchange in a decentralized network that is going to play an important role in the tourism industry as well. And of course, Internet of Things, which is the network of smart machines and devices embedded with sensors that are used to create all sorts of stuff. There is a theme park in France that has recently installed 160 sensors that allow the users, the tourists there, to know their location. So they are getting personalized advertisements and they are getting guidance of where to go in real time while they're visiting the theme park. And this may reduce greatly the delays in queues, or they help them to have a better experience in the theme park. So data analytics accompanied with artificial intelligence is the science of analyzing data and convert them into information. This is for sure one big important thing. And of course, as Professor Deligiannis mentioned, media, new media, transmedia, and augmented reality, it's a really important thing that we have to consider. And all these factors studied by the Association of Greek Tourism Enterprises, we believe we're going to pursue them as a small university and as a small department to try to apply them in various aspects of Greek tourism as well.
Thank you, Mr. Vogklis. I must say I would spend a couple of hours with these 3 professors easily. I find this fascinating. I find what is happening and what they are doing extremely attractive and extremely important to know. The university, I think, as everybody can understand, at least everybody who can hear clearly what they are saying, can understand that the potential and the input of the university in the uplifting of the region and of the level of use of technology of the local and regional administration is extremely important. And this is a very positive and encouraging aspect. Finishing this panel, which is the panel, in fact, of the local action, from our title, the local action and the global impact. There are a few points that need to be, I think, mentioned. First, we saw across board the SDGs everywhere. The SDGs are driving the process. This is a region, if you look at the impact of the SDGs, here it is. It's everywhere. The European financing is built on the SDGs, all the mechanisms are built on there, and they are implemented that way. You heard from the university that they are also used in selecting priorities or processes or projects. It's all around. So SDGs are vertically, as I said before, the vertically coming from the UN down through the EU and the national government to the local authorities, are strongly implemented and strongly operational. That's one thing that emerges very clearly from our panels. The second, I repeat, is the need to uplift the level of the technological level, the level of technology that is used around the society and all levels of life, of community life. There are the projects that we've heard from the municipality and the regional administration indicate how important it is, how many phases it takes, and how important the input of the university once again is there in concrete ways. I would welcome very much a very strong sense of internationalization. I believe very strongly in this internationalization. As I said, international relations is not anymore just interstate relations. The future is elsewhere, and we see this driving certainly the activities of the university, but also the activities of the municipality and the regional government. They want to expand. Expanding the European projects means expanding also their internationalization and exposure to regional countries or other countries. So this also is evolving in a positive direction. And I would finish with what I mentioned already at least once, which is that in these circumstances, at the level of challenge that we are, as organized state and authorities are facing, vision and the sense of initiative to try for the further step and to try for excellence. That means go better and further than most of the competition in order to improve our output and the quality of our life. It's also very present in what we heard in these panels. So I must say, for me, all this process through of getting through these panels was a sign of encouragement, was a clear indication that there is a lot of good things around, that we need just to concentrate with the right mindset. And I'm very glad that we finished the comments from the three professors, by the way, with this aspect of the mindset very strongly. Strive for excellence. Have ambition for what outcome you can reach. I think that's the core lessons of these panels. I thank again the excellent company that I had in this panel and also the previous ones, but the two professors that are in the panel now. And I thank you all for your attention.